And now, it's Gray Hugh. Yeah. Hey, what happened to that guy? I can't remember his name that made the audio for me. Oh, he's in here. He's just a regular now. And now. Yeah, damn it. Buy some more shirts. We got the freak shirts. Everybody's got to have one of the freak shirts. What else? Ads. Yeah. And if you want to support the channel, don't forget the super chats tonight. Alright, that's my ads. Also, I do have Patreon, and I actually donate part of the Patreon proceeds to charity, as we did last month. And we'll be doing that again in probably a couple of weeks. I don't know exactly when that was last month that I did that, though. I think I had to delete the video that I did that because of a bunch of crap. Yeah, so hopefully you guys saw that press conference from today, right? With let's see, I'm trying to read what you guys are writing. Yeah. So I don't really know what more to add to that. I don't want to turn it into like a Molly Tibbetts kind of deal where every second we're looking at some other little tiny little thing. You know, although, I mean, that was more interesting than Molly Tibbetts because there was at least things the police were doing that we could track around and so forth. And today there was a drone footage. Now, it wasn't even drone footage. It was helicopter footage of the park. But all the helicopter guy, the cameraman, all he did was film these guys on the ground setting up a drone. It's like, dude, film the freaking lake, you idiot. You know, do something. Film the woods, you know. Why are you just filming the guy who's putting together the drone? It was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. What a waste of gas that was. I mean, they got no usable footage out of that. Yeah, I don't know if he's in the lake or not. I don't have a clue. I'm curious. I thought it was a little interesting that they separated the, you know, like the friend. And we don't know if that was a girl or not, or a woman, but they had her, and they were helping them in the investigation. And then they took the father out to the lake to walk through the, I guess just walk through to explain what he remembers. And I don't remember, I mean, why wouldn't you bring both of them? Do they want to make sure that they're both, to see if their stories match? That type of thing? I don't really understand that technique there. Why not bring them both out so they could think, hey, oh yeah, that's right. And also it was weird, I saw Dareen sent me, or Daro sent me a screenshot where he said something about, yeah, I think he walked into the woods. Well, what do you mean you think he did? You saw him sprinting. This is like a Facebook comment he made. You said you saw him running into the woods, so what do you mean you think anything? All right, there shouldn't be any, oh, I think. Anything like that. Hello. Hello, everybody. Man, you guys spend so much time saying hello, you actually miss what I was saying. what I was trying to say was that the father said, "Oh, I think he walked into the woods." Well, but he actually saw him running into the woods, so I don't understand why he would make a comment like that. But here's the thing: is the police have corroborated the fact that that the kid was at the park. Okay, other witnesses. That's what they said in the press conference. So you have to say that yes, Maddox made it to the park. It wasn't some situation where they, that we know of anyways, that they were killed, they killed him, somebody killed him somewhere else, and then they pretended that he went missing at the park. Okay, they said that they did verify that he was at the park. Right? Yeah, something does seem a little strange here. It always seems a little strange when a kid gets abducted, right? There's always something a little off, Yeah, just make sure you don't have all your eggs in the basket of, oh, one of the family members did it. It turns out a lot of times in stuff like this that it's not that. Okay, but again, a lot of times it is, so you could be 50-50 on this one. You might be right. All right, but I wanted to go over this one. Somebody sent me this. It was Cindy Schaefer. Sent an email to me. I just thought it was crazy. It was like this case here, it seemed like just a total rampage this guy went on. I don't know if anybody got killed or anything, but man, it just sounds, look at this. 5 stolen vehicles, 10 crime scenes, and gunfire punctuate nighttime crime spree in Billings. All right. I'm only going to start this when everybody's ready to talk about this case for a little bit. If we're going to keep doing the Maddox case, I'll wait. Okay? Let me know when you guys are finished with that one. No, I still see comments. Yeah, this one's just from today, or like that's 5 hours ago is the article, maybe last night. All right, cool. All right, Billings Police Chief Ritch St. John explained the carnage from a citywide police chase Monday night. So, yes, 2 nights ago, or what is today? Jesus, I don't even know. Okay, yesterday, yeah. See, days, I don't have weekends like the rest of you, right? Everything blends together. Today could be, a Sunday, and I wouldn't know the difference. Okay, that ended. The carnage from a citywide police chase Monday night that ended in gunfire. Let me just turn this down a little bit. It's a little too loud. Okay. But ultimately minor injuries to the suspect. Within a 50-minute span, police say 41-year-old Ryan McElmury, I guess you might say, created 10 crime scenes, stole 5 vehicles, 3 at gunpoint, and faced gunshots from officers from 3 agencies. I mean, this is incredible. This guy is like one of those cats that you throw out of a building and it lives. This was akin to a Hollywood action movie, St. John said during a press conference Tuesday morning, but it's not. This is serious. In the end, McElmury was arrested and treated for his injuries. No officers or bystanders were injured, but 4 officers are on administrative leave, according to officer-involved shooting protocol. Those on leave include Billings Police Department officers, a Montana Highway Patrol trooper, and a Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office deputy. So maybe let's just watch this right now. I'm looking at it for the first time myself.
Very good. Well, good morning, everybody. This press briefing is to provide you with preliminary information on a serious incident involving multiple law enforcement agencies.
Let me see if I can turn that up.
Numerous people throughout Billings and Yellowstone County. With me this morning is Captain Keith Edgell from the Highway Patrol, and joining us shortly will be Sheriff Mike Linder. Keep in mind that this information is preliminary and we will update as needed. At approximately 10:12 p.m. last night, officers responded to a burglary alarm at Performance Auto located at Foot and Laurel Road. Officers arrived on scene and reported that
let's
10:12 p.m. last night.
Let's do this.
Officers responded to a burglary alarm at Performance Auto located at Foot
Okay.
and Laurel Road.
I'm going to do some of these as we go. Performance Auto in Billings, Montana, right? And what road did they say that was? That was I guess there's two of them here. No, that's it. Performance right there. So they said it was Foot. Yeah, that's it right there. All right. So mark that one in there. Of course. Yeah, crap. Just a second. Actually, I'll just play it and maybe do this at the end.
Officers arrived on scene and reported that the window to the business was broken out and that there were two male suspects inside. Officers challenged the two and ordered them to stop. One complied and was taken into custody without incident. The other suspect, later identified as 41-year-old Wyoming resident Ryan McElmury, it's spelled M-C-E-L-M-U-R-Y, ignored orders to stop and ran east across Foot and in between businesses. Additional officers arrived on scene to assist in the search. Shortly thereafter, a single gunshot was heard coming from the area where McElmury was last seen. It was later discovered that McElmury had used a handgun to shoot out a window of a building to gain access. Once inside, he found a Ford pickup truck with the keys in it. He drove it through a fence and ultimately headed west on Simpson.
This guy's nuts. This is going to be a movie.
At this point, Officer Nathan Contreras, a 3-year veteran of the police department, pulled onto Simpson and behind McElmury. McElmury drove west on Simpson and made a U-turn, accelerated, and headed directly for Contreras. Fearing he was going to be rammed, Contreras fired multiple rounds at McElmury as the truck veered past the driver's side of the patrol car. The investigation has not yet determined Contreras' position, i.e. in the car or out of it, or if McElmury fired shots on the way by. The left side driver's window of Contreras' patrol car was shot out. It is unknown by whom. Subsequent investigation revealed that 2 occupied trailers about a block away and directly east on Simpson and across South Billings had been struck by bullets. At this point, in the investigation, it's unknown who the rounds belong to, but will be investigated.
It just sounds like it was a wild shootout. Nobody knows what's...
Contreras was uninjured, and McElmury continued east on Simpson to South Billings Boulevard, where he headed north. He drove through a parking lot belonging to Hansers Automotive and did some property damage before heading west on Laurel Road, but not before driving through a fence at Centennial Homes. McElmury drives west on Laurel Road and eventually onto King Avenue West. His pickup that he's driving has flat tires and he's running on rims.
I'm going to have to map this out.
Officers hear a volley of gunfire from McElmury's area, but they don't know what he's shooting at. He pulls into the yard or parking lot of a group home at 5403 King Avenue West.
This is actually sort of crazy.
Into the residence and confronts a female sticking a gun in her face and demanding car keys. She indicates there's a vehicle in the garage and that the keys are in it. As officers are beginning to converge, McElmury gets back into the original pickup truck, pulls onto the yard and around to the back of the house. There he jumps out, jumps over a fence, and runs to another house. Here he smashes out the front picture window and enters. He is confronted by the homeowner, and he points a gun at the homeowner's face and demands keys. The homeowner gives McMultry keys to a Chevy Avalanche. A home security camera footage captures that event. McElmury gets in the Avalanche and backs it through the garage door and into a pickup truck that's parked nearby. He then flees the area through fields and side streets, eventually exiting on 48th Street West, and then he leads officers on a high-speed pursuit around the west end of town. We believe the route was something like this. He went 48th to Rimrock, up around the Mormon Temple, back down to Rimrock, south on Shiloh in the northbound lane. The Avalanche was spike stripped at Grand Avenue and now running on flat tires and ultimately rims. At Broadwater, he attempted to do a head-on stop of a vehicle, that is, drive at it head-on in order to get it to stop. One vehicle dodges and gets around McElmury, heads to another vehicle. This one stops. He gets out of the Avalanche and gets into the passenger side of the stopped car and forced that driver out at gunpoint. That was a Chevy Suburban. McElmury heads south on Shiloh and eventually onto I-90, where he heads east. Vehicle was again spiked at North 27th, and he ultimately gets off I-90 at the Lockwood exit, again running on rims.
Is this real? I mean, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
And again, tries to take a car at gunpoint, but he couldn't get it started. He then approaches a woman.
I'm going to map this sucker out and make a video. This is going to be awesome.
At gunpoint, takes a Pathfinder from her. McElmury heads west and ultimately onto Main Street and heads north. At this time,
42.
the Yellowstone County Sheriff's
Or
Office
41 maybe.
and a highway patrol trooper, along with one of our officers in pursuit. They follow McElmury north on Highway 87 to Doyle Road, where he attempts to turn right. However, his speed was too fast and he rolls the vehicle. McElmury got out and ran 700 yards
Oh man,
across the field
this is
to a
awesome.
trailer where he found a vehicle with keys in it. He took that vehicle, drove it through a shed wall.
I'm going to make,
directly at the
yeah.
officers. They all
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video and align it up to what he's saying. Okay? Like as he's talking, I'm going to map this sucker out. It's going to look like a tic-tac-toe, you know, all over the place. Look at it. This press conference is 20 minutes long. We're only 7 in.
fired multiple rounds, fearing that he was trying to hit them. The vehicle passed the officers, slowed down, and he ultimately got out and surrendered. The Billings Police Department officer who fired is 9-year veteran Cody Kaiser. I'll allow the sheriff and Captain Edgel to talk about their staff if they desire. No officers were injured, and it appeared that McElmury had some minor injuries to his head and hand, and it's unknown when those took place. He was transported to the hospital for assessment. Subsequent investigation showed that a semi-automatic handgun had fallen out of the Pathfinder when it rolled, and that the suspect had 2 magazines with ammo on his person when arrested. And although I can't confirm at this point, I do assume that there was a magazine in the weapon, but again, I can't confirm that. This incident started about 10 p.m. and ended 50 minutes later. During this 50 minutes of carnage, there are 10 crime scenes, 5 stolen vehicles, 3 at gunpoint, and numerous victims. It is beyond belief that no one was hurt or killed during this incident, to include McElmury. As far as the police department is concerned, multiple police vehicles sustained various amounts of damage, and I'm told that 6 that will be out of service for a while. We'll continue to assess that.
This guy's almost like kind of cool. I don't know, man. I feel kind of weird. You know?
They are currently on administrative leave. McElmury has a extensive drug history out of Wyoming. At my first inquiry, we'll be meeting with the county attorney's office this afternoon to determine appropriate charges. And at this point, I will defer to the sheriff and captain regarding any comments they may have or any information they care to share about their officers. And then after that, I'll be happy to take questions.
Good morning, Captain Edgeworth, Montana Highway Patrol. As far as the Highway Patrol's involvement in this pursuit, we were involved at approximately 22:59 hours is when our officers took over lead in the pursuit. That was up on Main Street or 87 North after the individual taken the vehicle from the town pump. Again, we pursued up north. Trooper Robbins did attempt to take legal intervention at Independent in 87 or Highway 312 in Independent Lane, where we tried to spin the vehicle out at that point to try to stop the pursuit. That was unsuccessful. He continued back over to 87 and then north. At that point that he rolled the vehicle, Officer Robbins as well as Trooper Naff were both the two officers that were involved from the Highway Patrol at the location of the shooting. However, only Officer Robbins was directly in line of the vehicle at the time that the shots were fired. Trooper Naff did not fire any shots at that point. Other than that, we don't have anything else. Trooper Robbins will be, like all the agencies for the most part, will be on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation, and we'll proceed with our administrative side. We're relying on the county is handling the shooting scene out on Doyle Road, and that's where that investigation is set.
Sheriff?
Thank you. I really don't have a lot to add to what Chief and Captain gave you. I can tell you that our detectives are currently still out at the scene at Doyle Road and 87 North, and we have two basically scenes out there at this time. They're going to be finishing the investigation shortly. As far as the deputy,
I've never heard anything like this. Could you imagine if that was in LA and he did all that action? Yeah, that'd be on national news. Everybody'd talk about it. But it was just Billings, so nobody cares.
I haven't seen any of the reports yet. I'm letting them do their job, and I'll get with them this afternoon. But if there's any questions,
I'm not really sure what it says about the police department, though. My God, he got away like 10 times.
thank you.
Sure, appreciate it. What Lieutenant Woolley has spun up here for you is a kind of a map of some of those spots that we talked about, so we can show you the area that was covered throughout this 50 minutes, and just exactly how dangerous, reckless, and desperate this individual was. So as we move through the pins here, the first one is Performance Auto. That's where the alarm came in. You can see that it is at Foot and Laurel Road. The next pin to the right is the FAA building. That is the one that was had the window shot out and entered and pickup taken. And so the next one.
I wonder if they have that on their website. Yeah, I'll just do it myself by listening.
Okay,
I can't see it.
That's where this first shooting took place. So that's on Simpson. So what has happened is that the truck has come out of that FAA area. It has headed south, and then it turned west on Simpson, turned around at the dead end down here, and came back at the officer, and that's where that shooting took place. The trailer houses that I referred to would be right over where Lieutenant has that icon or that pointer or whatever that is. So that's where the trailer houses were that were hit. Again, there's 2 of them, and each were hit twice. No injuries over there. Moving to the other end of town, we are now at this group home, which is called New Day at 54th and King. This is the
That's about what he has on his screen right there. See that? Or he had it on there.
Female with the gun. Officers arrive. He goes out of that house and then goes to another one, kicks the window out.
That's going to be awesome. Can't wait to make this.
Through the door, and we start around the west end, up on the north side. So the temple, up on Rim Rock, and then ultimately back on Shiloh. So on Shiloh, he is heading south in the North Mountain Lane. His tires are spiked at Grand Avenue. Eventually he's on rims. He attempts to do the head-on stop with one vehicle, fails at that, goes a little further, does it again to a second vehicle, and that one is carjacked at gunpoint. That is a Chevy Blazer. Down King Avenue, down Shiloh, and ultimately onto the interstate to the Lockwood exit, which is 452. And the vehicle again is spiked. Once again, running on rims, we go to the town pump and attempt to carjack 2 vehicles there. The first one failed, couldn't get it started. The second one was a Pathfinder at the gas pumps. From there, west into town, and ultimately on Main Street and out to Doyle Road, where he rolled the vehicle, and then out on foot for a couple hundred yards. And so the
yeah, I'm definitely going to get all this.
map is designed to show you how far this went, how dangerous it was for all the citizens and for our officers as well. We have gunshots. We have carjackings at gunpoint. Again, like I said, 10 crime scenes, 5 stolen vehicles, 3 by gunpoint.
In 50 minutes. Wow.
Dangerous situation. I thank our partners at the sheriff and the highway patrol helping us out there on the flanks, and I would also say that our officer ends up out there because we're not going to leave people on their own just because they're getting too far out of town. And so the mutual support is just wonderful, and I think it's demonstrated here. You know, you have all 3 represented, mutually supporting people way out on the flanks of town. So that is the overview of the map. We'll be meeting with the county attorney today. The investigators were at least to determine appropriate charges. There'll be a few.
That's 1,000 years in prison. Just on those charges.
You know, if we didn't experience it, see it.
If served consecutively.
The urgency in their voice. This is akin to a Hollywood action movie.
See, he said that same thing, Audra. See?
Serious situation, and I'm so very happy but surprised that nobody got hurt. Anybody involved in it, with the distances that were traveled.
That's almost the best part of the story. It's like, what are the odds that nobody got hurt? All the gunshots, all the bullet holes all over the place, and nobody got hurt.
To take questions.
Do you have an approximate speed of how fast you guys think he was going at certain points?
I have seen nothing on speeds, so I don't know.
Do you have a history with law enforcement or anything here in Billings?
Not in Billings that I know of. The preliminary information I got was from Wyoming, secondhand coming to me. You know, obviously, I think we probably have a picture available if we get somebody charged. But that's what was sent up to us, so I don't think anybody notified me of anything locally.
Do you know if he's still in the hospital or is he over in West Via?
Those are minor injuries. I believe he's down in jail by now.
How old did you say he was?
41.
Do you know if he was under the influence of drugs and alcohol?
I don't know that. I would venture.
Yeah, the thing is, I'd still laugh if he got hurt. You know, the thing is I just think it's so it's incredible, right? It's like a superhero, but the bad guy. Yeah, so I still would be laughing if he was the one that got hurt. Let's put it that way, because I never consider whenever there's like one of those school shootings and they go 20 people were killed today. Well, 19 of them were the victims. Okay, that means 19, all right? The person who shot doesn't count. He's just a barbarian monster, right? So that's just when it's funny. Now, if somebody else got hurt on the side in this incident, then I probably wouldn't feel the same way, right? I'd be thinking of it like, wow. But to me, this is hilarious. I mean, it's just... I would have loved to have seen it on film. I don't even think Hollywood, when they get all their stuntmen out and do all their little tricks and everything, could do this. I mean, he was ramming his car through fences and buildings and getting another car. I mean, how did he get... The timing of all of it is crazy. 50 minutes and he did all of that.
Say and highly suspect that he had something on board. That type of paranoia, that type of desperate, irrational behavior, that's not normal. But again,
Yeah, he wasn't even injured.
have to rely on medical records to get that. Because I don't think they charged him with DUI or anything like that, given the severity of some of the other stuff.
So he didn't have like an active warrant or anything like that. He just has a criminal record.
Not that we know of. Understand when this thing started, had he not run, he'd have been charged with a burglary. Broke into a building.
Can you give us the name of the other guy who was arrested initially?
You know, I never did get that. I don't know who that is. And
God, what a lucky guy. That first guy that got arrested first during the burglary, that's all he gets. Now, had he gone with his buddy, he'd get all that other stuff too.
don't know what his story was either, so.
We can send it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like no questions because it was really complete.
All right, if any of those fact sets change, then they'll let you know. But like I said, that's as we understand the situation,
Yeah.
as it took place. So all three agencies are.
Look how thorough that press conference was, right? Like there was hardly even any questions because it was so clear. It wasn't like, well, we can't really get into that right now. It's still an active investigation. Yeah, we can't talk about that. It's an ongoing investigation. Yep, no, they said every little tiny little detail. And when it was finished, people just said, well, how fast was the car going? That's about all they could ask.
Operating under that working theory. We'll go from there. I'm gonna go look at our police cars now. No, all right. My fleet guy's saying no. Gonna have night shift on Uber.
Yeah, and they're missing 5 cars in a small town like that. I guess it'd be a good day to be a burglar because 5 cars are out of commission. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm just gonna listen to it again and just follow along, and then I'm gonna create like a little as he's speaking, I'm gonna go fly through, and then you'll be able to watch it and go, oh, holy crap. So that's the picture of the guys right here. That is what you'd think he'd look like too. Look at that. Right? I mean, they have pictures all over the place of just different crime scenes. Look at this. Yeah, they said he has an extensive drug history out of Wyoming. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm not recommending you go try that yourself, all right? But that was absolutely bizarre. The title says it all, doesn't it? 5 stolen vehicles and 10 crime scenes. And gunfire punctuate nighttime crime spree in Billings. Nice. Yeah, somebody sent me, I guess there was a, this is something unrelated, but in the Kendrick Johnson, they got a 3rd autopsy done. I mean, how many, you know, it just seems so crazy to me to keep digging the kid out of the ground, you know. But I guess there was a 3rd one, and that person said it didn't look like an accident or whatever. I mean, how many, you know, I think there could have been something in that case, but it just seems like after all this time, I'm not sure what you're going to be able to find, you know, useful inside a casket after this much time. Right? So they're still digging, you know, this is the 3rd autopsy. So that was something separate right there. When, if they have a, if an article comes out, I'll talk about it. Yeah, I already did yesterday. I did a whole story, a whole show basically on the homeless guy. Got to check in every night, man, or you miss him. Might have been the day before too, I don't know. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding at all. I think at this point, I'm not sure what you're going to get. Because if Kendrick Johnson, if, I'm not sure what injuries he'd have to bones or anything like that. And that's pretty much all you're going to have left at this point. Now, if they find something, that's one thing. But I don't know. I guess I'll just have to read the findings. It's just, come on, Jesus. You keep digging him up out of the ground. This is the 3rd time. Jim Nething. Scout Harper. Asphalt. Anani 14107. Tracker 3. Bridget Harrison. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Bridget. Yeah, he was a kid that died in a rolled up gym mat. That case always kind of bothered me a little bit. There's a lot of weirdness to it. That's not what I don't like is when people try to compare that case to the Kanika Jenkins case. They're like worlds different. They're not even close to the same. You know, that Kendrick Johnson has a chance to being something else. Let me see. I don't even remember the case that person just said. Just a minute. What case was that you were talking about up there? She said you did a good job on something case. I can't remember. Where was that? Nitride Richardson. I don't know what Nitride Richardson case. What case is that? The Richardson sounded familiar, but not nitride. Does anybody remember that one? When did I do a video on that one? Oh, Matrice. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was still scrolled up to top. Yeah, I was thinking Richardson. Yeah, that sounds right. All right. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I think we put all the pieces that are known together. Well, I'm serious. I went up to look. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I went up and I was trying to remember, what is Nitride Richardson? It sort of sounded enough familiar, so I said, oh, okay. Richardson. But then I was like, I don't know a nitride. Okay. But yes, thank you for the Matrice Richardson one. That was pretty interesting, I must say. Probably. I'm not sure why Google would, or your phone would say, you know, I think you're probably trying to type in nitride. All right, now let's see. I did get somebody else sent me. Let's see. It was Connie Morgan on the Jessica Chambers case. I guess there's a connection to Tellis, the guy that wasn't found guilty, to another case. And this is on Oxygen Crime Time right here, but maybe we can go over this too. Let's see, what was he talking about? Yeah, we went into the extensive background of the killer on the golf course, right? We did that the other night. Remember we went over that whole article where it talked about his upbringing and so forth? Right. Man, you guys are missing out. You got to watch every night, or you're gonna miss out on the details of the cases. I'm telling you. All right. This is the case. I guess it's associated. Let me turn. I think I have my mic still up really high. Hold on. All right, that's probably better right there. The murder of teenager Jessica Chambers, who was burned to death in Cortland, Mississippi, has generated headlines across the country since it happened in 2014. But Chambers' well-known murder is also linked to a much less well-known crime, the torture and murder of Ming Chen Sao. Now, I'm not going to say that again, all right? In Monroe, Louisiana in 2015. The two murders were separated by just 225 miles and 8 months. Their common link, cops believe, is Quentin Tellis, who is accused of committing both crimes. The murder of Chambers, a white teenager and former cheerleader, touched a racial nerve in Cortland, a small town with roughly equal number of white and black residents, as detailed in Oxygen's upcoming docu-series, Unspeakable Crime: The Killing of Jessica Chambers. Tellis, a black man, has already been tried once for setting Chambers' car on fire while she was still inside it, but it ended in a mistrial last year when the idiotic jury came back 3 different times. Okay, sorry, that was me interjecting. That was the video that I made. Go check that one out. Everybody's watching that video, by the way. Like that video I made, it seems like almost a year ago at this point, of the mistrial and the idiotic jury. Everybody's watching it. Let's see, isn't significantly helped Tellis trial. Chambers won. Let me get to that same spot that I was just at. Zone side. At trial. Even still, Mississippi prosecutors plan to try him again this September. So I guess that trial's either just started or starting up real soon. The Louisiana case against Tellis for the July 2015 murder of Ming Chow isn't airtight either, according to an arrest warrant obtained by Oxygen.com. The warrant acknowledges that the murder charge is based solely on circumstantial evidence rather than anything directly linked Tellis linked him to the crime. Hassel was 34-year-old Taiwanese graduate student at the University of Louisiana at Monroe who went by Mandy, according to KTVE TV in nearby El Dorado, Arkansas. She studied education and often passed out candy to kids in her neighborhood, one friend remembered. Cops say that whoever killed her cut and stabbed her more than 30 times, sometimes with shallow knife wounds designed to inflict pain, inside her apartment in order to force her to reveal the PIN code to her debit card. Police found her body 10 days later when a neighbor called about inactivity at her apartment. Man, it took 10 days for anybody to notice she was missing? Man. That's pretty sad just by itself. Hassel and Tellis knew each other, according to the warrant, but the nature of their relationship is unclear. Video footage shows them together at Walmart the day before cops believe she was killed. Oh, wow. Tellis told cops they picked up Hassel. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm just saying Hissiao. Look at Hsiao. How do you think you say that? Come on, phonetically type it in for me there. Prescription for painkiller called Lortab, and that he purchased them from her afterwards, the arrest warrant states. In the days leading up to her death, one of the neighbors told cops that she saw Tellis coming and going from her apartment at least 3 times. The neighbors claimed to hear her and Tellis arguing at one point, and she said that he creeped her out, according to the arrest warrant. Friends and family members describe Tellis much differently. They say he was caring and dependable and chronicled in unspeakable crime. The bulk of evidence linking Tellis to okay, did you guys help me out with that? And you think it's shoe? Is that how it's pronounced? All right, I'll just try shoe. All right. The bulk of evidence linking Tellis to Shu murder comes from phone calls and ATM transactions. Cops believe she was tortured and killed inside her apartment sometime between 5:22 p.m. and 8:16 p.m. on July 29, 2015, after she gave up her PIN number. I wonder if I should make a video on that case, because it's related. Yeah. Tellis Chase, so she gave up her PIN number, cops believe. Tellis called Chase Bank to check the balance of her account. First at 8:16 p.m., 2 calls are placed from Shu's phone to Chase Bank, but the caller hung up immediately both times, according to phone records obtained by police. Then within the next 2 minutes, 2 calls go out to Chase Bank from Tellis's phone. This time, the caller enters her debit card number and her PIN. Let's see. God, that's just crazy. This guy's busted here. Let's see. Someone just mentioned my name. Let me give a shout out to Gray. Oh, thanks. Watch other videos on YouTube, and you can tell they don't research the cases beforehand due to mispronunciation of the victim. Yeah, well, I did it this time. I don't know how to pronounce her name because it's, you know, some of these things I'm just reading. So I appreciate that, Bridget. A lot of times I do all the research beforehand, but a lot of times, like when I have a whole bunch of different stories, I'm just kind of doing them with you guys. Like that one we just did a minute ago with the Rampage in Billings. That was crazy. But yeah, I like to pronounce names right. That's why I ask, but I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right now. I really do not know how to pronounce H-S-I-A-O. Okay, I don't have time to call somebody from that country and say, hey, can you pronounce this for me? Because I got a show here in a while, and you know. Yeah, I give it a, yeah, you're right, Jude. Good old college try. That's what I would call it. This is actually pretty interesting, though. Did you guys listen to this whole segment right here? First at 8:16 p.m., 2 calls are placed from Shu's phone to Chase Bank, but the caller hung up immediately both times. Right? So that was her phone. According to phone records obtained by police, then, that was according to police records obtained by the police. Then within the next 2 minutes, 2 calls go out to Chase Bank from Tellis's phone. This time, the caller enters her debit card number and her PIN number. At the time the calls were made, AT&T records indicate that Tellis' phone was within 60 meters of Shu's apartment. I mean, this is just... Yes, this is circumstantial evidence, but what other explanation could there possibly be? See, that's the thing. That's why sometimes circumstantial evidence is actually better. This case right here is stronger than the case that they had again with Jessica Chambers, just based on this right here. Any jury looking at that would go, oh my God, that's crazy. Although, I don't know, you know, nowadays with juries, there's so many stupid people that they'd probably see that and go, well, I mean, he could have just been in another apartment next to it. How do we know? And, well, maybe she said he could use her PIN number. And, you know, there's just so many idiots out there that believe nonsense that this guy, it'll probably be, even in this case, it'll be probably a mistrial, right? It'll be 11-1, some stupid holdout saying, well, I just think there's another explanation. Well, what would that be, sir or ma'am? I don't know. I just have a feeling. Well, I don't give a damn about your feelings. What about the facts? I don't know. It's just something I feel. You can't make me vote. Okay. Listen, that person should never be able to vote again. All right? The next day, Tellis asked his mother-in-law's neighbor to take a blue Chase debit card with a Chinese name on it. Oh, my God. To an ATM. See, here you go. Here they are again, those same morons. Well, it could have been he might have found it. You just never know. He could have found it, and then maybe he found the debit card, and it had the PIN number on it right outside. And then he went into somebody else's apartment, and he dialed it in, and then he didn't know what to do with it, so he gave it to his mom, and then he... Oh, boy. The next day, Tellis asked his mother-in-law's neighbor, to take a blue Chase debit card with a Chinese name on it to an ATM and withdraw $2,000. The neighbor later told police The neighbor took the card to an ATM and checked the balance, but ultimately decided not to make a withdrawal. Yeah. Wow, I wonder what Tellis thought about that. Someone in Vicksburg, Mississippi managed to make a withdrawal of $400. So then that didn't work. So then Tellis called up and said, "Hey, listen, check it out. Here's the ID. Don't take the whole thing out, but." Someone in Vicksburg, Mississippi managed to make a withdrawal of $400 the following day on August 1st. Phone records indicates that Tellis was in Vicksburg at the time. According to the warrant. Man, he is absolutely busted here. What video are you talking about? Yeah, the idiot, the jury. Yeah, one of the dumbest juries I've ever seen in my life. I think you have to. You can only do 500 at a time. Sometimes it's even less than that. Oh, let's see. Phone records indicate that Tellis was in Vicksburg at the time, according to the arrest warrant. Wow. Then more than 2 weeks later, back in Monroe, an ATM camera captured Tellis making withdrawals on 3 consecutive days beginning on August 17th. According to the warrant, when questioned by police, Tellis told cops that he got the debit card from a drug dealer named Jay. Oh yeah, and the drug dealer just happened to be right next to Shu's apartment, right? That's why you were 60 feet away at one point. Oh, I get it. Now it all makes sense. Oh boy. Named Jay, according to the warrant. He then changed his story to say he got it from a crackhead named Kenny. Of course. Jay and Kenny. In one final twist, Tellis' wife's cousin Eric Hill came forward to police with new information. He said that while he was giving a man named Curtis Lemons a tattoo... Okay, let me get this in my head. In one final twist, Tellis' wife's cousin, so his wife's cousin, Eric Hill, came forward to police with new information. He said that while he was giving a man named Curtis Lemons a tattoo, Lemons had confessed to killing a Chinese girl by ULM. The stupid mother effer Quentin got caught using her debit card, Hill said Lemon told him. Right, but then why did his phone ping 60 feet away from her apartment? Do you get it? Hill identified Lemons in a lineup, but when cops presented him a photo of Tellis, Hill said he had never seen the man. From previous interviews, the investigators had learned Hill was Tellis' cousin by marriage, and in fact that the two of them hung out regularly. So, I mean, the guy could have been with him, right? Like felony murder, but he was there. It's obvious. He was in all the different locations. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one too. Man, I got mine to be busy now. Let's see. Hill identified Lemons in the lineup. So Hill, let's see, who was Hill again? Tells his wife, okay, so that was Hill, came forward pleased with new information. He said that while he was giving a man named Curtis Lemons a tattoo, he confessed. And then Hill identified Lemons in a lineup, but when cops presented him a photo of Tellis, Hill said he had never seen the man. Oh, I see. So here's the thing, is Hill was just trying to free Tellis by implicating somebody else. Okay, this is what I'm coming up with, just going back to read that again. So let's see if I say that later in the article. Hill was Tellis' cousin by marriage, and in fact, that the two of them hung out regularly. Cops later confronted him, and Hill told them that he had implicated Lemons because he was mad at him. He said that actually Tellis had told him some intimate details. Okay, cops later confronted him, and Hill told them that he had implicated Lemons because he was mad at him. Okay. He said that actually Tellis had told him some intimate details of a crime that lined up with the circumstances of Shu's murder. Cops could not link Lemon to the murder. Louisiana courts have already sentenced Tellis to 10 years in prison for using the stolen debit card. The murder warrant for his arrest in the Shu case came after he had already been extradited back to Mississippi on the murder charge in the Chambers case. Tellis had not been indicted by a grand jury for the Louisiana murder. Jurors in the upcoming trial of Chambers, let's see. Louisiana courts have already sentenced Tellis to 10 years. The murder warrant for his arrest came after he had already been extradited back to Mississippi. Okay. Jurors in the upcoming trial. So he's just going to be on trial for a long time. He's not going to be, you know, he's got a retrial here, and then he's got to go on trial. This one, if he doesn't get convicted of the Shu murder based on just that limited information right there, there's just something totally wrong with the brains of people. Yeah, this will be a pretty cool one, I think. Definitely, I'm just gonna make a. I think the first one I'm gonna do is that one, the Rampage, because it's just easy. I'm gonna follow along on the map as he's talking, and then I'll just record a video and then have it flying around as he's talking. Maybe pause it every once in a while. And then after tonight's show, I'll probably record that video. Jurors in the upcoming trial for Chambers murder could easily be influenced by evidence from Shu's case, but at this time, none of that evidence will be admissible when Tellis stands before a Mississippi court. See, this definitely makes it seem more likely, but I wonder what the motive was. You know, he definitely doesn't mind torturing somebody, right? Yeah, well, somebody was saying that Eric is the boyfriend of Tillis's sister, right? I don't know if, like, she had a tattoo that said it on her hand. I don't know. Right. That's what the article said, Audra. I'm talking about the other case, the one with Chambers. He set her on fire, so he doesn't mind doing that. Yeah, so obviously in this case he tortured her to get the PIN for her card, and then he used her phone to call a couple times, and then he called using his phone within 60 feet of her phone. I mean, look how damning that information is right there. Right, look at this. First at 8:16 p.m., 2 calls are placed from Shu's phone to Chase Bank. But the caller hung up immediately, like, you know, just click both times, according to phone records by police. Then within the next 2 minutes, so 2 minutes after that, 2 calls go out to Chase Bank from Tellis's phone. So he's just right there. He calls with his own phone. This time the caller enters her debit card number and her PIN number. At the time the calls were made, AT&T records indicate that Tellis's phone was within 60 meters of Shu's apartment. Now, you tell me, what are the odds of that? Yeah, I just said, I think, you know, obviously he could burn somebody alive if he could torture somebody with a knife. That's all I was saying. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no chance it's a coincidence, because how would he have her number? I mean, here's the thing is, all of a sudden, her phone calls twice, and then I don't know, did they ping her phone too? Because they should have pinged in exactly the same location, I guess. I would think. Unless they have different carriers and then went off a different tower. But her phone had just called, and then all of a sudden he calls. Using her PIN and account number. And it's within 60 feet. That's so obvious. There's no chance that he has nothing to do with her death. Zero. Well, I mean, you know, there's always these conspiracies, Gray. Yeah. Well, I'm just going over this the first time, Asphalt. I've never gone over this one before, you know. So there's really nothing to. Someone, like I said, Connie sent this to me, and I thought I'd open it up and look at it, and there it is. Interesting, very interesting. All right, does anybody want to call in tonight, though? We can talk about any of these cases. I'm going to try to get Darrow to get me some people that know the Chambers case well. You know, that they're really into it and on the inside and know stuff. And then maybe we can have them on the air and they can just tell us what they know. Something like that. All right. Yeah, would you guys hit the damn like button, for Christ? Hit the dislike button either. If you hate this video, hit the dislike button. All right? I don't care which one you hit. Just hit one of them. All right? And then if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so, unless you just don't like the way I am. And in that case, I don't care because I won't be changing for you. Thank you very much, and good night. Just kidding, I'm still here. No, I don't. I'm sick of the Watts case at this point. Every day there's an update. One little tiny little detail. Oh, we talked to Watts' third cousin today, and he said one time he looked funny at me. Yeah. Yeah, Chambers is old. That's why when I made my video, I said it was Louisiana, because I had a friend from Louisiana, and she said she'd been to that area, and that's what my memory said, but, you know, obviously that wasn't right. But the video, the state that I mentioned had nothing to do with the video, so I didn't retract the video. I did put a comment, like the next day, at the very top that says, yes, I made a mistake, and I still get comments. Oh, gosh, Gray, you said it was Louisiana. Well, go cry somewhere else. I told you that. Yeah, the first trial ended in a mistrial. I made a whole video on how moronic that jury was. Well, good, Sandy. That's the whole point. You know, the sarcasm, you know. All right, I'm going to open up the phone here. And anybody can just call in, all right? Yeah. Just don't forget about my super chats every once in a while, guys. You know, I do spend a lot of time on the air here. I'd appreciate it. Helps keep the doors open. You know, what do I call it? Helps keep the lights on. All right, just a second. I got to get the screen up that has the phone on it. All right. Yeah, right there. See? Can you guys see that phone? Yeah, so if you want to call in and talk about any of these cases, I'm really not that mean. Yeah, notice the operative word, that. Yeah. Yeah, send in some super chats because I got to get water that fills up this. Yeah, well, the drone, I think I have enough. I'm getting close to enough to get a drone, but I'm going to wait till, I was thinking of waiting till around, the Christmas season, because it's already kind of getting late to fly a drone with the rain and stuff like that. Oh, well, look at that. A 914-107. Here we go. The God music's about to play. Here it comes. Here it comes, everybody. Oh, this is so incredible. Here we come. Oh, and my God and Freaky Lizard. 2 of the God music ones. Yep. Woo! Thank you. Oh my God.
Toilet.
toilet. Oh.
Keep up the great work, Gray.
Thank you. Freaky Lizard and a 914-107 and Patricia M. Boom. Here's another one. Yeehaw!
Thanks for all you do.
No problem. What was the 95,000 views? Thanks, Asphalt. I will. I'll flush that right down the toilet. Hold on. That's right. Oh, I get it. 90,000 views. Exactly. Every dollar is 1,000 views. That's right. Now we're at 92,000. Or actually, I wasn't adding those up. Yeah, 50, 75. Yeah, 97,000 views just now. Pretty sweet. And thank you very much. That was very kind of you guys. Yes, and don't forget the We Are Freaks mugs and hoodies. I gotta tell you, I'm not saying this just to say, but the expensive hoodie, I bought 3 of those, one for my wife, and then I bought 2 sizes for me, just in case I eat too much food during the Christmas season. Hey, Caravan of Courage, thank you for subscribing. Moonwalking across the stage. I am, they're so comfortable. Like, you literally can sleep in those things. They're really soft. Anybody else have one of those hoodies, the soft ones? That's right, Asphalt. Oh yeah, cool. Did it was it a decent shirt? I didn't get a t-shirt, I got the hoodies. Maybe I should I think I will get a t-shirt though. Yeah, if someone donates $10, you get the Rat song. Yeah, anyways, they're pretty soft. I actually slept in the one I have the other night. I was like, God, look at this. It's going to be great for the winter. And no, I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just, well, maybe a little bit. But after you get your stuff. Yeah, when you get your item, take a picture of it. You don't even have to have your face or anything if you don't want to. Just take a picture of it and post it in the Gray Hughes Investigates Facebook page, or just email it to me, and then I'll add it to the slideshow. All right. But anyways, who's calling in tonight? Scout, get on the phone, huh? The phone number is 1-503-446-5146. West of the Rockies, it's 1-503-446-5146. In Madagascar, it's 1-503-446-5146. In eastern Zimbabwe, it's 1-503-446-5146. The wild card line is not available tonight. That's my flashback to Art Bell. Thank you very much, Art Bell, for your 100 years of incredible shit, man. That was awesome. TMI? What do you mean TMI? What did I say that was TMI? Oh, you can just call on a regular phone. You don't need Skype. That number I have right there is a phone number I bought specifically so people could call my Skype, but it's not, there's no video or anything. Yeah, I want new callers tonight. People that don't call all the time. All right. Dial the number. 1-503-446-5146. Yeah, we can talk about anything. Oh, there it is. There it is. East Zimbabwe, you're on the air.
Hi, Gray. It's Bridget Harrison again.
Hey, it's Bridget Harrison. How's it going?
Well, we survived Hurricane Florence with minimal damage compared to others, but we are alive, and that's all that matters, really.
Awesome. Well, you had a different username before, though, didn't you?
No, I've always been. Yeah.
Okay. You called in the one night during the hurricane, though, too, right? Because there was somebody named Carolina that I don't know if that's when you called in or not. But
no, actually, I didn't. Then we evacuated to Kentucky, so
wow.
I would probably been traveling, or I was in Kentucky. I was incognito there, couldn't do nothing.
Did your house get covered with water and everything, or were you kind of
my
lucky?
My father's did. My father's got about 9 inches. We didn't get any, as we can tell, because we were evacuated, but when we got back, the water was dry in our house, but our flooring is all messed up. So we're thinking that, yeah, it probably did at some point in time and came back out. We got tile in the kitchen, the bathroom as well, but the bathroom actually cracked. So, yeah, we think the water got in somehow.
There isn't really any insurance to cover that kind of stuff, is there? Because, I mean, if you live in a flood zone, they don't really, I don't know if they do that or not. But
well, we weren't in a flood zone. And
really?
Yeah, so, but you can purchase flood insurance. So that's what you use. And I was in, if people notice the area, you always seen like New Bern, Jacksonville, Wilmington. To give you guys a perspective, I was about 45 minutes from Wilmington. I do live in Jacksonville, and I'm about maybe 30 minutes from New Bern. So I was dead center, smack, where that storm came through.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you made it up. But let me ask you something, though. If you live in a flood zone, I don't think you can buy flood insurance, though, unless it's really expensive. No. Like, it's just, right? But you can't do that, I don't think, because then, I don't know.
Well, that is correct. People that do own beachfront properties or restaurants or anything of that nature, they can purchase it, but it's extremely expensive. Now, we aren't in a flood zone, so we could purchase it normally as an add-on to our insurance.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if I was an insurance company, I wouldn't do it like Louisiana. Where was that? Where was that? Where it was that? Yeah, it was Louisiana, New Orleans, right? Remember that when that flood went in there?
Yes.
I mean, that was just they're not even supposed. There's no homes aren't even supposed to be there. That whole place was underwater except for these levees that they built. So there's no way. If I was an insurance company, I would let somebody just buy some flood insurance. I mean, you'd be spending billions of dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we were not in a flood zone at all, but somehow we ended up flooding. So it was, they said a lot, of course, was the rivers and just the piling and plummeting of rain that we had previously. So the ground was not able to basically dry up some to soak in the water that was dumped by the hurricane. So it was just wet on top of wet.
Yeah, I think it would just be such a nightmare. You come back home, the floor's all muddy, and you're just...
Yeah, we didn't... I mean, we opened up the closet, the linen closet door, your towels they're not damp, but it's the moisture and the humidity that got to it. It's a wives' tale that, you don't tape up your windows. So what you do is shut all interior doors. So that way when the glass does blow, it's contained at least to one room as far as the wind trying to get through, another door. The main damage doesn't come from hurricane force winds as much as it does from water and flooding.
Right.
And, of course, around here, we are in North Carolina. There are tons of trees. So that was kind of the other second part of the major damage was trees were just falling on top of homes.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous, too.
Yeah, and we were lucky. Before we purchased this place, we seen the tree was just way too close to the home. So before we even closed the deal, we had them take that out before we purchased. And they were like, okay. So we were smart about that.
Well, good. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a long time before it gets back to normal at all. But
yeah, because the grocery stores that's the main thing. I did want to say that people need to realize, yes, we have FEMA in place. They are here in our area. And what they will do for you only, people need to read. That's why I like, you so much, Gray, is that you use common sense. If you go to FEMA's site, it will tell you, no, you're not going to get unemployment assistance unless you lose your job. You did not lose your job. You only could not work because of the hurricane. You still have a job to go back to. So no, FEMA is not going to give you unemployment. You did not lose your job. So that's one thing people were complaining about.
Wait.
Need to read.
I just remembered something. Wait, you're the person that your voice sounds familiar. You're the one that called about that case a long time ago, right?
Yes, it is me. I always follow you. It's just sometimes I always miss you at night. Yeah. Yes, it is me.
Yeah, that we got chewed out about that one, right?
Yeah, that one. But then, of course, my own home history that we talked about before.
Right.
I sent it to Audra, that's on the chat or whatever. She's seen the video, and right before the hurricane hit, I was getting a folder set up for you, Gray, so that way I can do a Google Drive and have you all access everything you need for the case on this house.
That's right.
I'm going to have to, so I'm going to have to continue that now.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Huh, that's funny. Now, I just sort of remembered at the end there. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes. And then I do want people to know that we are okay. The major thing for our area, people always want to know what they can do and for help. Believe it or not, it's food. Our grocery stores still do not have meat. You are lucky if you can find dairy. It's like a gold mine here, and dairy means milk, cheese, anything of that nature. Yeah. We just do not have it.
But the shelves are full of the vegetarian food I saw. There was this one sort of there was some funny meme that went around. It was like all the shelves were bare except for the vegetarian tofu. That whole section there. Yeah. The truth comes out when the storms come. People grab the meat. Okay, even the vegetarians. Yes. They go, well, I had to survive. Oh, so. Okay, right.
This area was like a true apocalypse. I mean, we tried to wait it out as long as we could, and we got back knowing that we would have nothing. I mean, let me tell you, cleaning out, my husband is a former Marine, and he said this refrigerator, he actually was on morgue detail over in Iraq. So when he cleaned out the refrigerator, he said this definitely brought some PTSD moments back to him. It was very bad with the smell. We'll put it that way. And so right now we're just fighting that. Of course, mold and mildew all went in the fridge because we were out of electricity for 8 days. But I want people to realize, that's our main thing. If you need to help anyone, if you know of anyone in this area, do Amazon. Send an Amazon cart to them. We are getting mail, so we may not be able to get, liquid dairies kind of things, but if you want to support anyone here because the grocery stores are completely bare, think of Amazon or one of those food cart places, anything like that. That's what we need here. A restaurant locally was passing out plates of food, and come to find out, they were serving old food to people. People got sick. I'm really upset about that. You're taking advantage of the poor people here that need it. We have nothing left, and you're going to serve us old food and make us sick. Compound problems upon problems. But I don't want to take any more time about this. I'd rather get back to the Chambers case, what we were talking about earlier. So what is it that you think, Gray? Do you think Tellis did this? Quentin really set this girl on fire?
I don't know for sure, but now that I have this other case that seems like he's capable of that, then it's like, whoa, maybe he did do it. Yeah.
Yes. What hit me the most was when his sisters were talking about, like, you hear many cases, oh, he's such a good guy, he could never do this. Well, let me tell you something. Everybody has a dark side to them. Pushed to the brink, you'll be surprised by what many people will do. Now, what angered her or him, we don't know what happened at that moment. She may have never done anything. No victim asked for something like this. But I just felt really, like, yeah, of course he's capable. Whether or not he did it, I don't know. But they're just so blindsided. His family is just so blindsided that he could never do anything wrong,
Well, just blinded. Yeah, like they're just totally
blinded.
Yeah, they're just, I mean, that's what families do. Oh, I mean, the thing is even when, when somebody has a pit bull and then hey, look at that, somebody just subscribed, you can't hear the music. Diane Robinson doing the moonwalk across the screen. Yeah, like when somebody has a pit bull and it kills somebody, or kills a dog, or kills a little kid, or bites they always say, "Oh, it was so nice. It was the greatest. It was the greatest dog in the world. It was so wonderful." But the thing is, that's what they were bred to do. So at any moment, even though they're always nice and so kind, like they seem so gentle. At any time, all of a sudden they can bang and go right into that mode, and you can't stop. I just saw one the other day. It was so ridiculous. It was walking down the street, and it chased after two chihuahuas, grabbed one and just killed one of them, and was running with the other one. And then this lady tried to pull the dog out of the dog's mouth, and then the owner came, kind of grabbed it, put it on the ground. It's like, come on, just shoot it in the head. I mean, I can't stand that. I mean, I know there's people out there that just love pit bulls. They're the greatest thing because they were great for them. But I've never seen anything more dangerous, man. Just like
Well, I have to tend to disagree with you there, only for the fact is that I'm also an animal lover, too. But I believe it's not all about the breed. It's about how they were treated. Yeah. I do believe, because if you can take, this is my stance upon that, is if you can take pit bulls that Michael Vick has used for fighting and turn around and they become family dogs, and I mean the dog no longer has any history of biting, and they're being around children and other dogs, and they have a perfect history record for these many years, because I have watched them.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I just disagree. Yeah. But I just disagree with that too, because there's all these other stories have people that they've been raised great the whole time. They were great in the family. Everything was normal. Mm-hmm. They sit around with the kids. They play. And then all of a sudden one day, bang, they just bite. They grab one of the kids and start shaking it around. And, it's like, where did that come from? They weren't treated poorly at all, It's not always about that.
And
it's
that's,
part of its instinct.
No, it isn't,
you know?
because I also stand upon, Chihuahuas, miniature pinchers, things like that, little dogs. They will also tear you to pieces just as well. I mean, and maybe not the bite is so vicious, but they'll get your ankles and everything else. So to me, it's not about the breed, so I'm not saying any breed, because any dog is capable. I know that, hey, if I move, my dog, they know better, but they will sometimes grouchy at me, and I turn around and I'll be like, oh, no, you're not pulling out.
Yeah, but they're the number one. Yeah. Like, if you look it up, it used to be where it was, I think it was Rottweilers and then these other ones, but now pit bull. Yeah, let me finish. Pit bulls kill like something like 30 to 40 people every year in the United States. So it's like they really, I don't know what the deal. I think there's just way more of them now too, and when they do attack, like Chihuahuas probably bite. Mine doesn't bite. Doesn't bite people or anything, but when pit bulls bite, it's over, man. They get a hold of you and they just start shaking and shaking. They'll rip your skin. They won't let go. You have to figure out. Well, that's the same.
Now I can say this: my parents raised Scottish Terriers, and so they're little. They're not very big dogs either. But I've gotten bit, and that was because I did something as a teenager that I shouldn't have done. But I didn't think about it either. Our dogs are very sweet, kind, loving, not a problem. We love our dogs. But I jumped the fence to see my neighbor, so I was coming back into my yard by jumping the fence, and the boy grabbed me by my pant leg and started yanking me off the fence and was just shaking it. Now, he didn't bite no skin or break any skin. He grabbed the pant leg. But that's just, like we said, it's the unpredictability. He's never been abused. He was with us the entire time, or, been raised by us. But it was his yard. He was being protective of his yard, and I jumped into it. Whether or not he recognized me or smelt me, I don't know. I just know he just saw a pant leg coming into his yard. But I'm just saying, talking about the bite, that's what you're talking about. They have the strongest. They can get like lockjaw, and their teeth are so thick.
Well, their heads are massive. Like the pit bulls, they have that massive jaw and head. Like they just, and they lock their jaws too. So.
Yeah. Now my huskies, I have 2 huskies. And they're the sweetest can be. Oh my goodness, they're just.
That's what they all say. That's what they all say. Cut to the next scene of the movie. Rah! They're shredding some little kid to pieces.
They turn into Cujo.
Cujo.
There we go. Cujo.
I just watched Cujo. Like, I swear to God, it was like maybe a month ago. I had my wife. I go, oh, look at this. This is Cujo. That's a pretty freaky movie, man. Even now, it's that dog. It's like a looks like a, I don't know if it's a Mastiff or Saint Bernard or something, but it's a huge dog. Yeah.
So what else do you think about the Chambers case? I know you said that you thought it was the dumbest jury on the earth.
No, it really was.
What do you? So what do you think about the prosecution's case? Do you think they put on enough convincing evidence?
That's not why I thought they were the dumbest jury on earth. Like, you got to go watch the video that I made.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit behind, so I was just trying to pick your brain on what you thought.
Yeah, the video I made had nothing to do with any facts at all. Had nothing to do with the case. It was about the jury who they came back and they gave the judge the verdict, and they said, we find him not guilty. And then the judge said, okay, great. And then the defense or the prosecutor said, can we pull the jury? And a bunch of them said, no, I said guilty. I said guilty. And then the judge said, wait, what do you mean? Like, how could you? I mean, it was incredible. So then, so they have to be unanimous on it. So then they sent them back, and then they came back out. It was actually some lady said, I didn't say. Okay, the judge said, did all of you say not guilty? And the lady said, no, I didn't say that. And then all it turns out, I didn't say that. So the foreman just decided to write down not guilty. So then they went back to deliberating. Then they came back out, and then the foreman said not guilty again. And then they pulled again, and 9 of them said guilty and 3 said not guilty. So look it's like this moron jury. Yeah, for the third time they came out. The second, I mean, the second time they came out, they just didn't know what the hell they were doing. And then the foreman goes, we say not guilty. But it was really 9-3, which would have been a hung jury, and that's what it ended up being. Because they couldn't.
Okay.
So he finally got him to go back, and it turns out they couldn't come up with a decision. But it was one of the dumbest circus crappy things I've ever seen. I've never seen anything worse. It made me. That's when I thought, wow, our society really does have a lot of dumb people. Because you wouldn't have believed it if you had seen it. If you would not have believed it. You got to see the video. It's just.
Well, I will. The parts of the trial that I did get to see, that I was able to watch on YouTube, of course, was when the lady who performed the autopsy. And I have to say, she was excellent on the stand. Because when his defense attorney got up there and kept trying to trip her up in her words, the lady that performed the autopsy was so elegant, she did not fall for it one bit. I was like, wow. I was like, this is the person you want. And she was a younger lady, too. So I was like, I was just stunned by her presence. And I could not believe that the jury just could not see, what happened. To me, it's obvious. Okay, I don't mean to jump around here, but to me, it's obvious that she was sitting in the car seat, and she had to have been smothered or knocked out of some sort because of the way the burn patterns are on her body. And there's no one that I know of, I'm not a scientist, so I should say that I could think of that would sit there and allow someone to pour gasoline or accelerant on them and then light them on fire and stay that position long enough for it to create a burn pattern. Because she didn't get up, obviously, right away.
Yeah. I don't know I'm going to have to, I'm just going to kind of follow this next trial a little bit, but the first one I didn't really, I know that a lot of the details, how she was just kind of walking down the street, or her hair was out. I remember watching that part of the trial where that first guy, it kind of ruined his life, basically. He's completely, that first fireman, he was kind of, seemed sort of like he wasn't really, he's not,
he wasn't,
a little bit
I think he
doofy,
didn't,
kind of, like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think what happened was this guy had grand illusions, everyone grows up and wants to be something.
Right.
And he wanted to aspired to be a firefighter.
Right, he should never have been one.
He got to the scene, seen what it really entails, and that just did it for him.
Like even the other guy, the bigger guy, he looked like he'd been on the show that I'm watching, like he was bummed out too. He cries talking about it. Like I think he quit too. That must have been something really extraordinary, like you see somebody burned walking and they are alive at that point.
Yeah.
I wish they'd spent a little bit more time trying to get the who part. Like literally, here's a pencil. Like no, you can barely hold it right at, try to do something to get the who, right? Because it's just I don't know.
Now I will say this: I know a little bit because my husband, when he went over Iraq, and he had similar circumstances that would present itself as such as someone alive, burning bodies, walking towards you, and he functions. He's okay, but he does say like PTSD. It does certain things will trigger him. So I wonder if these men just have the reminders of living in that town every day. Unfortunately, the best part about it is at least my husband's removed from that area. He doesn't have to go back there.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if that plays on the psyche and just damages those men even further because they live there. They have to service the area. Well, they're no longer firefighters, but they still have to frequent the townsfolk and the people and see the mom, and I'm sure that, because it was a small town, that people are still talking about it to this day, and I wonder if that just plays a part into it.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like, I'm out of it. I have so many cases in my head right now sometimes.
Right.
I mean, literally,
Well,
like every day, every day there's somebody. That one from earlier was wild. Did you hear that first part with the Rampage in where Billings, Montana? That guy, that was crazy. Maybe if you have a chance, go back and watch the beginning.
I will watch. Yeah, I will watch the beginning of it, so that way I can catch it. And I usually try to, like, if I try to get you when you first are live, but if I don't, I definitely go back and rewatch the videos so that I'm not missing anything. I know that you did mention a case. I think it was in the beginning. I asked you, or I mentioned in the chat room. I just said I'm not familiar with this case, so I guess it's something I will go ahead and take a look at once we get off here.
Yeah, this was just 2 days ago in Billings, Montana.
2 days ago, okay.
I mean, the guy. No, yeah, actually yesterday. Sorry. Yeah, it was like he 5 stolen vehicles, 10 crime scenes, and gunfire punctuate nighttime crime spree in Billings. So we went through this whole thing, played the press conference here. But you wouldn't believe the. I mean, even the officer said it looked like something right out of a movie. Like you wouldn't.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
The things you miss from being gone.
Yeah.
I'll have to catch up on it. But also, while I got you on, I do want to say I know you noticed in the chat that I said you did a wonderful job on the My Trees Richardson. I'm sorry, my tablet just.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Butchered her name.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Yeah, that was a cool. I like doing that one. I tried to spend a lot of time putting all the places together and then kind of thinking through.
Yeah, see, that's what I want to give you recognition for. That's what intrigued me about your channel and kept me as a viewer, because you were doing something different compared to everyone else, and that's what I liked, which was you showing the place on the map, you showing the distance and putting your own thought into it, but critical thinking. And no one else was really doing that. They're, pretty much telling the story and maybe giving their opinions at the end. You were doing something totally different. So I hope that you continue with that, because it's a visual thing, and some of us can come up with new conclusions as well once we see it on the map. Oh, look at this, okay, well, she only lived, this happened right here. Look at the street view. I mean, we all have that capability, but it's nice to see how you seamlessly put it all together for us to watch and fully understand better.
Well, thank you. Wow. And no, I didn't pay her any money to say that. No. I speak true words. When I really believe in something, or I like to stand behind it and give it back so that people can understand. And it's a good job. Everyone wants to be praised every now and then. And hey, if I can't give you, monetary money right now due to the hurricane, I can at least give you praise. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I don't know how much left of your Billings, or if you wanted to talk about a different subject, I'm fine with that as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm just randomly. I'll take some more calls or whatever, but... Hey, thank you for calling in. Yeah, send me that information on that. Your
I
house.
Certainly will, and I'll get that Google Drive up here shortly. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Good night. Bye. Man, I see you guys just still talking about those dogs in there. That's just what my opinion is of pit bulls. I know that everyone thinks, oh, I've got them. They're so great, and they've never bit, and they probably will never bite. I'm just saying, I don't like them at all, okay? So don't go, oh, well, now I don't like you, Gray. Who cares if I don't like you? So, this is Gray. I can hear your radio.
Not no more. How you doing, Gray? This is Connie.
Hey, I did your story.
You did. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I ran across that today, and I was like, that's cool. That's pretty interesting. So, did you get to see the first link I sent you?
Wait. What? Let me check something though. You were the second. You were the story about the. Let's see. Which one was it that you? Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do a video on that one. But,
yeah, that is really crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other link about? I don't want to keep.
Yeah, the other link was it's this attorney and he's on YouTube. He has a site, and he's an attorney, but he's not a criminal attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but he has passion about it. So he doesn't have a lot of different like stories that we cover or anything like that. But anyway, I just, like I said, I ran across his site.
It was like a YouTube channel, though. I didn't want to go to
yes.
it. Yeah, I can't open those up on here. I can't just play somebody else's
You can just
produced
Google
video.
his name, or do his name in YouTube, and it'll come up.
Okay.
But anyway, it's giving his viewpoint on it and talking about both cases.
Oh, cool. Which of
Quentin.
Yeah.
Yeah, both murders.
What does he think?
Yeah, he thinks he's guilty on both.
Well, I think he sounds more guilty on the second one.
In the first one, he said.
Yeah, the one with that lady, the Asian lady, that one seems like it's just obvious that he has something to do with her murder. I mean, there's almost no chance.
He was saying,
that it's not.
Yeah, he said, in his opinion, he wished they would have, what do you call it, televisionized or whatever, done the other trial first.
Yeah, well, they should have just tried the first one first. Yeah, I mean that case was. Yeah. Why didn't they do that? Just because why they didn't do it? Because it wasn't. They didn't do it because it wasn't cool enough. It didn't have enough. It didn't have the national attention that Chambers did. Like, oh wow, look at everybody's talking about Chambers, so let's do that one. That's what I think. I don't care what someone might claim to be the technical reason. I think it's going to be because there's no way in hell. Like, why wouldn't you do that one? That one's obvious.
Right.
Chambers isn't really even...
Jessica's was the first murder.
Yeah, it was first. And didn't they say also that he got extradited or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what he thinks, that the reason why they went ahead and did Jessica's, because they don't want the second one to go through Jessica's court trial or whatever. In other words, they're not going to mention that other case, the Mandy murder.
The which one? I didn't even hear that.
The stabbing. The second one,
shoe.
The one that you read.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that won't be brought up for what I understand. It won't be brought up during Jessica's trial.
Yeah, that's what the article said.
Yeah.
It said that they're not gonna, it won't be allowed in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Yeah, I can see why they wouldn't allow it in, because that case it's not related at all. It's not like it's another murder associated with that, and then it would totally prejudice the jury. Like, oh my God, he did do that one. Okay, so therefore he did this one. So you got to be able to convince people of that individual case. Now, had he been murdered somebody else before, then of course you can bring that in to show that they have. But he hasn't even been convicted of that one yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I was what I would have done was say, listen, we're going to retry you, Tellis, but what we're going to do now is you're going to just go back to prison for those 10 years that you had for the, using the credit card stuff, and then we're going to go try the shoe case now, and then now that's in the books, right? Now, if he gets convicted of that, he does have a murder in there, and then you go to that trial, then you can bring that up and go, well, listen, he also murdered this person. Maybe they should have done it that way.
I agree. Yeah,
because that's so obvious. But again, there'll always be those few morons that are going to say, I just don't see it. It's just one big conspiracy. It's not. I think there's another reason why his phone was 60 feet away, calling the same. Right. People are it's just the way it is. I don't have faith.
Yeah. The second trial has started. Today was the second day of it. Of the second
Oh yeah,
The
is
new
it
trial.
on TV or I mean streaming? Or
It's
anything?
on Law and Crime, Law and Crime Network.
Okay. Are they putting them on YouTube after that?
The court is being filmed on that station.
But they're going to be on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on there now. It's
Okay.
showing live court hearings.
Okay, so Law, they have a Facebook page, though, Law and something, right? Like,
Yeah, it's Law and Crime Network, and it's on YouTube, and they're showing live court sessions.
right. Huh.
And boy, when you watch it and you look over there at Quentin, he's got this look about him like he's holier than thou. They're not going to catch me. They're not going to do anything again. You know, he's so sure of himself, sitting over there, almost smiling, you know, to an extent.
Yeah, I wonder what
Crazy.
the family sort of seems like they feel the same way he does. His
Yeah.
family members. Like, oh, yeah, he didn't do it. They probably all
Yeah.
know that he did do it, though.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
That's what I
anyway,
thought.
so yeah, I started following it today because I'd missed it yesterday.
Is it like
Yeah,
5,
and then they
6
keep like
hours?
replaying it, you know, over and over. So you can go back, you can go in after this chat and pull it up,
Yeah.
and you might find it live again, you know, showing a recap of what today was.
Well, YouTube just plays they'll have the video up there so you can go watch it, like they did in the Arias case. Like you can go back and watch day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, all those different days of the Arias trial, even now. So even if it was 4 or 5 hours, you could watch it.
Yeah. So, and so one more thing I wanted to tell you is I got my shirt in today,
Oh, sweet.
and I love it. And I'm gonna, I'll take a picture and send it to you.
All right. Yeah, we'll put it
I
in
love the material.
Oh, yeah?
It's
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
the higher quality ones. You know, I hate getting a
Yes.
T-shirt, and then like the first time you put it on, it's like, oh yeah, great, and then you wash it, and then oh god, yeah,
Yes.
Or, you know, they're just crap. So you can get I didn't even put those on there as an option. The cheaper
Right.
ones. I just got their premium, and
Well.
then even a higher quality one, I guess. So
And
hopefully
a
they're
lot
good.
of times when you purchase online a tank top, it's that rib tank top material.
Oh.
And I don't like that. And this is not.
Oh, that's right. You were the special order, the tank top.
Yes, I am. Like
That's
I
right.
said, it's hot in Texas.
Yeah, you're the only one that got it, but I can easily put it out there though, so that's the cool part. Yeah.
Yes, and you know, it probably wouldn't hurt to go ahead and put 1 or 2 out there because
Yeah.
I see you got a lot of Texans following you.
Yeah, you should do some make a basketball team now with the We Are Freaks tank tops.
There you go.
The team's called The Freaks.
I know we could have make a day trip out of it probably and do a freak reunion.
Yeah, that'd be cool someday.
All of us in Texas.
Yep, Texas. Yep. It's big enough state. I love Texas. You know.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a great job, and I love
Thank you.
being a part of it.
Awesome.
I love listening to it. You got a good group. You really do.
Yeah, I like everybody. Well, most of them.
Yeah.
Now people are going to be going, wait, what's he talking about? Which one? Who's? Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, I like that. Freaky Lizard said, Texas freaking meat. I like that.
That's right.
Okay. All right, great. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, thanks
Keep
for
up the
sending
good
me
work.
keep sending me the, if people have
If
links,
I see
send them
anything
to
else,
me.
sure.
Yeah, a lot
I
of times
sure
I've
will.
already seen it because I've got all these people sending it, but then there's times like tonight I got 2 things that I hadn't seen, and then I
Yeah.
said, oh, I'll do the show on those because I get kind of tired of doing the same thing. Like, you know, you come on and everybody wants to talk about the missing 6-year-old for 6 hours when there really wasn't anything. You know, I made the video on the press conference, and other than that, there's nothing new other than
Right.
the guy in the helicopter was the worst cameraman I've ever seen. You could even ask Darrow. Like, Darrow sent me the link live, and I'm watching it, and I'm going, what is this guy doing? He just kept filming these guys, like, working on their drone. It's like, what does that have to do with anything? Who cares what they're doing? You know, great. Yeah. And then, look at it. Then they got a drone flying, and then he started filming the drone flying. You know?
Lord.
Wow. I mean, hey, why don't you go do what the drone's doing and film things? Look around for a little bit. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I know. I live on YouTube these days since I was disabled a year ago or took off for disability. And so I just live on YouTube.
Well, YouTube's a good
so I happen
place.
to run across some of these.
I spend a lot of time on YouTube now, too, compared to what I used to.
Yeah.
Not only the shows, but then I get so many comments that I look at and respond to, and just watch other videos. And even when I exercise now, I put in my Amazon. I get on my bike, and I put on. I go to YouTube on the Amazon Fire Stick, and then I go to watch YouTube videos. It's weird, like they just kill the time while you're pedaling away, So there it is. Yeah.
Well, the only thing I ever heard about YouTube was, music, and most of it was like metal, heavy metal, and rap, and all this stuff. And that's all I associated with it. And then, so I lived on Pinterest just because what things I was interested in, I could pull something up and look it up and research it that way, And then one day I was sitting here going, let me check this out. My son sent me a link, and he's a promoter, and so he said, check out this, So I was like, oh boy, So I listened to it, and then when he left the room, I just started searching on YouTube, and I found you that first day.
Oh, yeah? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But I did a rap one time.
I know.
So, what did you think of that then, huh? It wasn't too bad.
I like that, too.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. I quickly showed it to my son. Look.
Yeah.
He's multi-talented.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you found it. I'm glad. I'll always make a tank top just for you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you buying it. Even though there isn't a huge profit margin there, but it's cool that people are actually wearing, something that I made.
Absolutely.
It's cool. Yeah. It's like, oh wow, look at that. I think the next ones are going to be the nefarious ones, though. You'll say something like.
Well, I'm having I drink a lot of ice water, and so I'm drinking out of those Arctic cups. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're like the stainless steel.
They do have. You can make cups. I can do stuff like cups too. I think.
Well, my daughter-in-law, she makes these cups and she puts all kinds of designs on the outside, and I'm having one specially made, and so I want to look. When she gets it made for me, I'm going to show it to you and see if any of y'all want it. I wanted to surprise you and send it to you in the mail or something. Maybe I'll get with you later on that.
Okay, cool. All right.
But you're like, oh no post office box.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But I'll show you mine when she gets it finished. She's working on a lot of orders right now. That's what she's doing for money.
Oh,
she has to stay home and take care of her son, which is my grandson, and he's autistic. So she's trying to earn her keep around here as well,
Yeah.
So that's what she does. She makes all kind of shirts, and she makes cups and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that's not. I'm just gonna. I like making my own just because it's me making it that you guys have.
Oh, I know.
That's the thing.
I know.
Even though, but it's me. I mean, I literally am making like the 3D characters that made the silhouette for that last one.
Yeah.
So The nefarious one, I'm thinking of having like a window that's just a square, and then there's somebody like peeking in or something, you know, and then it says.
Yeah, now see, that would be cool too.
Yeah, it's like a sort of some dimension to it, almost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of trying. I'll see what it looks like, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're getting some.
Alrighty.
We got a troll that showed up. All right.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. Some idiot named Goober Peabody, you know.
Goober Peabody.
I mean, his name fits how he is. It's weird. It's perfect. Hi, I'm Goober Peabody. I'm a complete moron. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, there you go. All right. Well, thanks for calling in. Send me the picture.
And I love all you freaks out there. And even though I don't talk, I'm still there every show.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well,
take care.
Yeah, you too. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Goober Peabody. I have nothing better to do but show up onto a live video stream where I have no clue what's going on, so what I'm going to do is divert all the attention to me because I'm Goober Peabody. And what Goober Peabodies do is act like idiots.
All right. Thanks for calling in, though, Connie. Yeah, you missed out on the Goober Peabody, though. No, I haven't lost it at all. I'm just making fun of Goober the Moron Peabody, all right? Mainly for dissing on all of you, all right? And that's what I felt like doing. Yes, that was my Goober impersonation. Let's make sure we can see what Goober... Hey, but Scout, you got to call in now. It's your turn to call in. No, you don't need a drink to call in. Have you noticed that everybody I talk to, I'm nice to, right? All right. So I expect the phone to ring from Scout. That's funny. He was ready for an apocalypse. I'm not calling anybody out, but yeah, I didn't call you out. I just said call in. Oh, Jesus. This is probably Goober Peabody. Hello, this is Gray. Yep, see, I knew that was Goober Peabody. That's why he hung up.
Hi, is that Goober Peabody?
Yeah.
Hey, is that Goober?
Yep. That's funny. Oh, boy. Yep, definitely was Goober Peabody. Calling on an unknown number, too, you know, like hiding his number because he's a total goober who joins chats just to divert attention to himself.
Hello. Goober Peabody.
That time I just hung up because they weren't saying anything. Yeah. So who's calling in then? Why don't you call in, Daro? Yeah, there we go. Mia, come on, Scout. Come on, Scout. Come on, Scout. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I don't know how... Call again. I don't know what the hell's the deal there. Now there's somebody... I think that was the Goober guy.
Now there's somebody... I think that
Is this Goober?
Can't deport us all.
Is this Goober? Is this Goober? Oh, that was the guy that says you can't deport us all. Every time I do a show, he says you can't deport us all, as if we're talking about deporting people. He's crazy. It's like, oh, I have nothing better to do. That's what I'm going to say every single time I call. Hello. Hello. Call in, Scout. It's not hard to call in. Hello. Hello. I wonder how I can make it so that unknown can't call in. Ah, here we go. Let's see. Click one. Hit the tools. 2 on the next screen. Oh, Jesus. Hello. You guys are gonna have to listen to that for a while. I gotta get this figured out. Let's see. Man, I have no clue what's going on my computer here. Some weird shit going on. Hello.
Kim was a hoe.
Huh? Huh? Hello.
Hello.
Oh, this is a normal person. It was a number. I was getting ready just to hang up again. What's
Ooh,
up?
Don't hang up.
Who's this?
It's Audra.
Oh, Audra, Blankenship.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to block. I think there's a way to do it, but man, do you see that thing that popped up on the screen? It was like some crazy.
I did. And then I was like, the phone wouldn't stop ringing. I was trying to call in and time it just right.
Yeah, how to block unknown callers on Skype. I'm trying to get this figured out.
All right, well,
I'm
I'll
not
allow
sure.
it.
Yeah, you can, but you stay on while I'm doing it, right? How to
No
block
problem.
calls from people not. How to block unwanted Skype callers. Let's see. I don't know if there's a, because I just have a phone number thing.
What? I had that thing muted and it came right back on. That was weird.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe that is similar though. Let's see. So it says they go to tools, option, but see, I don't have tools and options. You know, I have. Like I know this.
Oh,
is
Robert says I'm sweet but kind of bland. Ha ha. Hey, Robert. That's not nice. It's not bland.
Sweet but kind of bland. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Like I said, he's sort of like the LJ, that with a little bit more, like it makes a little bit more sense, but same kind of thing. So where's the? I want to find the part that said. I mean, I know they have settings over here, but I can't find any part that says something about.
Let's see. All I see on the screen is the map and the phone number.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to. If I put it over there, then you can see contacts.
Oh, the phone number. I got you.
So maybe if you can find somewhere where it says how
Let's
to.
see. Skype.
Like it's
Yeah,
the Skype calls that are unwanted. Show all windows on Skype, is it?
Getting
Advanced.
blocking calls. Let's see.
Yeah, doesn't seem to
We
just
can
let me
find-
do anything.
Tools menu, choose options, privacy tab. Let's see. Is that the same thing you're looking at?
Yeah, well,
Privacy tab.
let's see. Where's the privacy tab?
Says tools menu, Skype, choose options. On the next screen that loads, choose a privacy tab on the left-hand side.
Yeah, see, I don't have a tools menu on Skype, though. I think that's like an older version,
Could be.
I think.
Let's see here. I don't know. I have one at work that runs completely differently than the one I have at home. So
Okay. Money, close your account. Yeah, I guess.
the only way you can do it is if you have everybody who's calling in your contacts list.
But it seems like you should be able to block, like, unknown callers, you know, like. Oh wait, block. Oh yeah, block content. Yeah. See, it's weird. I can't. It doesn't let you block the unknown one because it doesn't know who it is. But it should have a way to do it if it says unknown at all, that you're blocked. But anyways, whatever. I'll figure it out.
We'll look it up. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I know we will.
I might just move on to a whole different platform for this, anyways.
Yeah.
A different system.
So you had to pay for the phone number for Skype to get your own number for.
Yeah, it wasn't that expensive.
Call.
Like $50 or something.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the Ryan McElmury thing was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the video and then map it all in, and then I'll play it one more time, but I'll fly around on Google Earth as he's explaining it. Yeah.
It'd be funny if you could make it look like you're rolling when he rolls over the car. That'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that, but it'd be cool. Yeah. I mean, you could make a really good one with animation, but it would take forever, so I'm not going to do it.
Oh, yeah. But you got the practice from flying on your freak, the freak song at the end. Yeah,
I'm pretty good with Google Earth now. I just have this, I can just slowly zoom in and fly around, and I kind of see how it works. You're supposed to be able to do something where you, I've done it before. You take a tour, basically. You can put the pins down, and then you can set it up, those all up as a tour, and then it flies to each one. But I kind of like being able to stay, like, I don't know, like something like this, you know. And then I can stop, and then go some more. And then if I wanted to turn, go down a street or something, you know. Something like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm just gonna follow right where he went, but I'm gonna map it all out. I'm gonna listen to it twice, that whole section. Mm-hmm. And then the first time will be me marking it out, and then it'll be close. Might not have the exact, because sometimes he didn't say. He said a house sometimes. But then I can look at what he's pointing at later, and then see if I can dial it in even more. Yeah.
A couple screenshots.
Yeah, something
Zoom
like that. Something.
Yep. That's why we like it, Gray, what you do here.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, see if Scout's going to call in. Scout, are you going to call in? I was really just trying to save Gray from the unknown caller chaos. Scout, calling in.
Is she calling in?
I don't know. Scout, are you going to call in?
Yes, Scout. If she calls in, then we'll hang up, right?
Right.
All right, Scout. It's up to you. Here we go. The whole show depends on you.
They're in there talking about the West Memphis 3.
Yeah. Right. They're always talking about something unrelated. I've noticed, but it's all right.
I think they had said kind of doing a poll of the chat. What case would their top case they would wish you would do, and that's where that came up from.
It seems like I looked this one up in here. West Memphis. I don't know. Well, let me just.
That was in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember one day I did go through and try to find a lot of the different spots. But a lot of times I don't really, like if I don't save Google Earth, it gets rid of everything that I did. That's what it sucks. Wait, Memphis, is this?
The people who they convicted the 3 teenagers about it, and they spent a lot of time in prison, and a lot of actors and musicians got behind them, but eventually they got out on an Alfred plea.
Yeah.
Where you
don't admit to guilt, but you say that there's enough evidence to convict you.
Right, which I don't know about that.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
On that one.
Like Arias tried to do something like that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere on my map. I did look at it though. I remember I listened to the podcast on it. That's the 3 kids that were riding on bikes or something, and then they were all found in some sort of a drainage ditch, and they'd all been, like, I think, assaulted. So that was a pretty weird one.
Yeah, it is.
Never been solved.
Well, Scout's saying she's too panicky to call. So
what do you mean?
So.
God.
That's what she says.
Jeez.
We don't want to put too much stress on her. I understand that. I was pretty nervous first time. I think the first time I ever called in, it was like a video Skype, and it was me and Bridget at the same time, Bridget Harris.
Oh, wasn't that, maybe that was Hangouts. Oh, that's
yeah,
right, I remember
Hangouts.
that. Didn't Patricia do one of those too, or something? Like
maybe.
Yeah.
I just remember I was like, hey, what's this? I didn't even know I had the capability to do that, and I just hit the button, and it went right on to your screen, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh, well, maybe you did the video Skype. You called in. That's right.
It was like right. It was like a video hangout or something, and I had no idea. It was a link you put in the chat, and I clicked it, and I was like, oh my God, okay.
Yeah. What?
I totally broke the ice.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what case are you talking about? Scout? Is that the West Memphis 3? I forgot what even happened in that one. Like, I mean, I know that happened to the kids. They have them documented driving or riding their bikes. It's a little bit like the Molly Tibbetts, where different people saw them driving around on their bikes. I didn't. Yeah, maybe somebody did get put in jail for that. I can't remember now. That's what she's saying. So what? There's a video that actually has autopsy pictures in it and so forth.
I wouldn't doubt it. It's
So the trial's all on YouTube too. Well, send me the link, Scout, to the trial. I want to see the trial. Because actually looking at stuff like that, you can get a better picture of what the hell actually happened. Well, they were found in water in a like a drainage ditch. I actually saw it on the screen. She's saying they were riding their bikes in the woods and they were found hogtied. They were actually just found in water.
But they were tied up, though.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
water.
they were tied up, but they weren't in the woods.
Mhm.
It was just like right there.
There's a lot of different theories about who actually did it. A lot of people think that people who were convicted did it, and a lot of people think one of the step-parents did it.
But were all three kids? They weren't even related, though, right? I can't remember that part.
No, one of the kids' step-parents, I should say. But they have the Paradise Lost documentary, and a lot of the trials are on that too.
Yeah. That's a weird. Yeah, I guess maybe I should take a look at that one again, the West Memphis 3. There's actually a case. I did talk to John Lorden the other day for like an hour or so. We were talking about maybe doing, like, there's a podcast guy that True Crime Garage, maybe working with him on something, and there's this one case, and I kind of looked at it. I was like, God. Now, I mean, that it was sort of like the case he's working on, so I don't really want to.
Right.
Not Lorden, but the other, the podcast guy. But it was like, oh man, that looks like a pretty good one.
It's a good case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've already got it all mapped out and shit. I was like, oh, just reading it, I was like, oh, that's a good one. But yep. Not even gonna mention it.
Oh, I just looked up his website, not his YouTube, but his website, True Crime Garage. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the third, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, fourth post down is, that's 3 off the record. So just a post, I think, just a post about it.
About what?
About West Memphis 3.
Oh.
Like 4 down from the top of his website. Interesting. That we were just talking about it.
Well, I think that's sort of like one of the standards,
right.
that crime people do. I bet you if you went on YouTube and typed in West Memphis 3, you'd have like 57 videos by
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
true
Yeah.
crime people. Yeah, those are
Yeah,
some,
because there's still
sometimes I don't want to do those because everybody else has done it, but I know that I do see things differently sometimes. So.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with this one. There's still a lot of questions in people's mind about it. I mean, there's still a lot of division about what really happened, especially since the case was during the Satanic Panic days. So they put a lot of emphasis on that part of the trial and on those teenagers. And so there's not a lot of like logic there when it comes to that trial. And so a lot of people have questions about it. So any kind of case that has a lot of question marks in it, I'm always like wanting you to tackle it because I want that logic link out there in the interwebs.
All right. Sweet.
Truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's kind. Thank you.
That's the truth, though.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I try to do. I try to look at things just reasonably. It's funny. I mean, I was watching today, while I was riding the bike, I watched about 4 conspiracy videos on the Molly Tibbetts case, all about the dad working for the Clinton Foundation. And I was just trying to figure out, who cares? I mean, what does that even have to do with what happened to her, though? It's like, it's just, I don't know. They just make these little connections. Oh, look at this, and look at this. And there was 3 of them in a row. And I watched them, and I just, it's sort of interesting. Like, oh, wow, look at that. And then they make a comment sort of trying to tie it all together, and it just doesn't make sense.
Right. There's a couple other people that I listen to that are very logical about that. Probably that lawyer. I asked Connie earlier if the lawyer's name that I had was right. I don't know if she answered me or not. But if it is the same one that I'm thinking, he's pretty logical guy, and I appreciate that. Well, not all lawyers are. Come on now.
Well, defense attorneys a lot of times aren't really that logical because they have to turn untruths into a truth to defend their. I mean, I think most defense attorneys at some point have to know that what they're doing isn't true. You just know that you are able to tell an alternate story that seems believable, and you're able to get your person off based on that. It's like, I guarantee there's no way that, because when they're sitting at home looking at the facts, they're going, oh boy, Jesus, oh crap. Well, I could say this about that. And they probably never ask their client, like, did you do it? Right?
Because they probably shouldn't.
You don't really want to know the answer to that.
Yeah, because then they wouldn't be able to suspend that part of their brain long enough to defend them if they knew the truth about it, I'm sure. Or I wouldn't be able to anyway. Bridget says, Gray, do you prefer up-to-date cases or some of the old cases that are still ongoing?
Yeah, I mean, I like them all, really. They just have to be interesting, with a bunch of elements to them. I don't like the ones where they say, Susan Smith went missing at 3 o'clock at a market. Nobody's seen her since. Okay, wow. Okay, what do I do next? Map out the market and then speculate on 1,000 different roads she could, like there's no other, we have no ping information or anything, but she did have khaki pants on and a blue, I'm sort of stuck there. So basically you could have those, I mean, I've thought of doing shows where I have 5 or 6 of those just to get their name out there at least. But the thing is there's really nothing you can say. Like even that case a few weeks back with I can't remember what her name was, that black girl that was
down in Louisiana.
Yeah, like her boyfriend just took her, I guess, and killed her. That's what it turned out to be. The one with the glasses. Yeah, she had like glasses
it was like
on.
New Mexico, I think.
Yeah, like there
out
was
in New
nothing
Mexico.
at all available. It's just like she was last seen at an intersection, and she'd argued with her boyfriend, and then she just disappeared, basically. I mean, even the Ginger Gover one had more information. You know, at least she knew where she went. She was at this gas station where she was heading. You know, they found her car, different things like that.
Right. And she had, yeah, there was some mystery there because somebody, you know, other people saw her more than just her parents who said she was going this direction. Right.
Yeah, and then I can't remember, did they find her? Remember, I did an update.
Yeah.
Oh, Kiera Bergman was her name. That's the one. Remember that? It was Kiera Bergman. I don't know if you can see the screen, but remember she was at this last seen at this intersection, and then that's right. Let's see.
She went to the park across the street.
Wow, there's so many. Look how many. There's all these other shootings and stuff in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did an update though. I read it like her boyfriend was arrested for murder. I don't remember if they found her or something, but oh man, it sucks when. I was actually talking to Lorden about that. Like you do so many cases, somebody brings up one and you remember the name, but you don't remember the details. But then once you get into, just look at it for a couple minutes, you go, oh yeah, and then everything starts coming back.
Well, and that's the part that really sucks is because there's, you know, we'll go over one today and there'll be something tomorrow and it'll, you know, fill up another. I call it too many penguins on the ice. There'll be another penguin jump up there and push the other ones up. Go on. So.
What are you referring to?
Like having too many files in your brain, and when you get a new one in, the one at the back has to go to the front or whatever.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
What's the dingo baby? Somebody said, "Hey, Grady, you remember the dingo baby?" I don't know what that is.
The dingo baby that got eaten in Australia. Well, her parents got convicted of it, and then I think maybe 2 years ago or so, they actually found like the baby's clothing in a dingo den. So
did they really?
Baby really did.
Huh.
Yeah, the dingo really did eat the baby.
How long were they in prison for?
I want to say quite a while. I can't remember.
Wow, so they actually just went. How come they were looking in a dingo den? Like, how did they get in?
I think it was an accidental find. Let's see here.
I don't get what Amy's saying. Oh no, now I'm picturing Gray in ways I don't want to. Thanks, Bridget. But she's talking about a dingo baby. Not me.
Dingo baby in 1980 is when it happened. Okay, they didn't convict them. They took them to trial 3 times on it.
See, that's crazy. Like, they should be reimbursed for any money they had to spend on the trial once they realize, you know, it's the same. They should get all the money back. Okay, Amy.
Oh my gosh.
No problem.
Here's something that really boggles my mind. I was looking at my YouTube history a couple of weeks ago, and this actually was, I guess the clothing was found in 2014. And you remember just a few minutes ago I said that happened a couple of years ago? No, it was 4 years ago. And then I was looking at my YouTube history, and I saw, like when we were talking about, what's one of the ones that was from like back around March, you know, one of the cases we talked about in March. I'm like, God, that was like 6 months ago. For crimey's sake. It goes by so fast.
Yeah, that dingo one might be kind of, interesting just to kind of look at it. I don't know if there's something I could make, I don't know if there's anything I can do to make it more interesting,
Well, it's in Australia. We don't go over there very much.
Yeah, but I've Australia, like, Mia's like from New Zealand, right? But
New Zealand.
there was that other, what was it? Is it Freaky
Is it Rennie?
No, who's the one? God, the one guy that calls all the time from Australia.
Raven.
Yeah, Raven. That's right.
Raven.
Yeah, Raven, and then I think Rennie's from Australia too.
Yeah, Rennie. That's right. I think a few times some other people have dropped in from Australia.
Good eye, mate. Yep.
Good eye, mate.
Yeah,
I'm bad at accents because I have a southern accent. Well.
Yeah, I think I'm about done for the evening.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Sounds good to me.
Covered a lot of stuff. Hey, thanks for calling in. Thanks for saving me from the endless calls.
No problem. No problem. I think one of our chatters earlier might have had a solution to the unknown callers blocking. So they might repost it here closer to the end of the chat. Maybe this week.
Was there a link up there?
I think they just put it out.
Oh, yeah, put it in there again. I didn't see it.
Yeah. So I don't know who it was. All right. Well, it's nice talking to you as always.
Yeah, you too.
And we'll see you soon.
All right. I'm gonna turn off Skype now. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, thanks for calling in there, Audra. Audra Blankenship. You gotta admit that's one of those cool names, isn't it? It has to be said like that every time. Like even if I met her for the first time, I'd walk up and say, "Hello, Audra Blankenship. How's it going?" Like that. I mean, people would look at me like I was absolutely nuts, but, you know. I am a freak, so. Yeah, well, I'll try to figure out how to block the unknown people. Or I might just switch to a whole different system. No, you can't post links in the chat. Okay. Let's see. I don't have... Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's the problem is, Freaky Lizards, I don't have privacy options on the version of Skype that I have. Alright, maybe I can put this just enough over here. You see that? Ah, forget it. That's not it. Yeah, too much info on there. Yeah, I don't even have a privacy setting. I have accounts and profiles. Underneath there, it's none of that information. And then under general, none of that stuff. Calling, you'd think it'd be under calling, because call forwarding, disabled. Caller ID. Let's see about, maybe if I click on that, let's see what that says. Display this number when I call. That's just for me. Only allow calls from contacts to ring on this device. Huh. I wonder if I could do it like that. But then that would make it so new callers couldn't call in. And then advanced, answer incoming calls automatically. Yeah, forget it. Forget it. Yeah, you guys keep sending the same thing over and over again. Yeah, it's... I don't know. I have a different version or something than that. Like, I know about the right click, but you can't... an unknown caller isn't really a profile that you can see or anything. So you can't... You know... If somebody else calls in, I can right-click and it'll say it. But if it's an unknown, you can't... There's no option for the block. Well, let's see. Cheers. Cheers, mate. How's that? Cheers, mate. It's Chiz Might, right? So C-H-I-Z and then M-I-T-E, right? That's the phonetic spelling of cheers, mate, right? It's cheers, mate. Yeah, not too bad, huh, Raven? Let's see. What version do I have? I have Skype 8.3. Wait, hold on. There we go. Here's what I have right here, Daro. All right, Skype version 8.3, and it's the latest version of Skype. What security? I don't know. I can't find it. I don't really want to look right now either. Chiz, mate. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna get going, everybody. How about right the base of South America down there? See what's going on there. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for showing up. And I want to say thank you to Anani14107, Freaky Lizard, and Patricia and Asphalt for donations to Super Chat. I really appreciate that. Made my evening. All right. So now I'm going to play the Furious Freaks music that we are all so accustomed to. In fact, I'm going to play it at a volume level so that... Oh, wait, that's too technical. Boom!
At no point.
That's the wrong one. At no point in your rambling, incoherent statement did you say anything.
Good night, freak!
Oh yeah, I remember I found that one time. That is pretty weird. Look at that. In the middle of absolutely nowhere, nothing around, I found that weird little sort of boxy thing. I bet it was gold mining, is what I think that was. Whoa, out in outer space. Ooh, ah. That's what I could do for Halloween, right? Yes, everybody, thank you for showing up tonight. And all the callers that called in, thank you, Audra, for saving me from the troll that was calling in. And whatever that guy's weirdo that was on there, Bilbo Baggins, whatever the hell his name was. Anyways, yes, thank you for showing up. Another interesting night, especially early on before the trolls started showing up. And everybody, until next time, be safe out there.